I'll spite.
You are staring at a blank white screen on your computer. You type the word need, then you just stop.
Right, you just look at it.
Exactly. You look at it, you delete it, you type the word require, you stop again, you delete it.
And your heart is actually beating faster, isn't it?
It really is. Your hands feel a little bit cold. You are just writing a 5-word email to your manager or, maybe a new client.
But somehow it feels dangerous. It feels like you are walking through a field of hidden traps.
Yes, exactly. You ask yourself, is this too casual? Am I being rude? Do I sound like a professional adult? Or do I sound like a child?
That is such a real feeling. I mean, I think every single person listening to this conversation right now knows exactly what that feels like.
Oh, absolutely.
You want to sound smart, you want to sound polite, but you also do not want to sound like a cold, emotionless robot.
Right. It is a heavy psychological weight. You stare at the screen and you feel completely paralyzed. Why does a simple email cause so much fear?
Well, that fear is exactly what we are going to conquer today.
Hello, and welcome to our conversation. We are sitting down together today to talk about this hidden stress.
If you are learning English and you feel afraid of choosing the wrong words at work, you are in the exact right place.
Our goal today is very simple. We want to give you the secret rules of professional English, and we want to do it slowly, calmly, and clearly.
We are treating you like the intelligent adult you are. You do not need to understand every single word immediately. Just let the conversation flow around you.
Exactly. There is absolutely no rush today. We are going to speak slowly and naturally. We are going to explain things clearly.
And most importantly, we are going to practice together. We believe that language learning is not just about listening. It is about actively participating.
So we are going to ask you to speak out loud with us today. In fact, let's start right now.
Yes, let's do it.
I want to ask you a quick question. Yes, you, listening right now, think about your morning today.
What time did you wake up? And what was the very first action you took after opening your eyes?
Please say your answer out loud right now. We will give you a few seconds to speak. Go ahead.
We are listening, but we are imagining your answers. Take another second.
Okay, if you just spoke out loud, thank you. If you were too shy, that is okay, but try to join us next time.
Speaking out loud is the real secret to building confidence. For example, my morning routine is very predictable. I wake up at exactly 6:30.
6:30? Wow.
Yes, early. The very first thing I do is walk to the window. I open the curtains to look at the sky. Then I go straight to the kitchen to boil water for tea.
Well, you are much healthier than I am. I wake up at 7, and the first thing I do is reach for my phone to check my messages.
Not that habit.
I know. And then I absolutely require coffee. Listeners, let's test your listening memory right now.
What is the very first thing my friend does after waking up at 6:30?
Say it out loud. Try to remember. We will wait for you.
Did you say it?
If you said open the curtains or look out the window, you have excellent listening skills. Spot on.
And if you could not remember, do not worry. This idea of a daily routine, especially the morning routine, is going to be very important later in our conversation.
Yes, we are going to show you how those first 10 minutes of your day can completely change your English fluency.
But before we get to the morning routine, let's go back to that scary blank email on your computer screen. Why do we feel that fear?
We feel it because we know deep down that language is not just about sharing facts.
Right. Language is about relationship.
Exactly. We are worried about using the wrong language register.
Yes, language register. It sounds like a complex academic term, but the concept is very human.
A register is simply the level of formality we use. It is the style of language that changes depending on who is in the room with us.
Right. And in English, we generally talk about 3 main registers. We have the informal register, the formal register, and the neutral register.
Well, let's break these down so they're perfectly clear. Let's start with informal English. This is the language of friendship.
Exactly. You use informal English with your family, with your close friends, and in very relaxed situations.
What does it look like?
Well, it uses shorter sentences. It uses relaxed vocabulary. It allows for jokes and slang. It feels very warm and comfortable.
I like to say it is the language of a weekend barbecue.
Let's do a quick practice with the listener. Think of a good friend right now.
If you want to ask your friend to come to your house, how would you say it in English? Say a short, casual sentence out loud. Go ahead, speak.
Say it to your friend.
Okay, you might have said something like, hey, come over later, or do you want to hang out?
That is perfect. Informal English. But then we have formal English. This is the language of respect and professional distance.
You use formal English at work. You use it in a serious business meeting, when writing an academic essay, or when you are speaking to someone you do not know very well.
Formal English focuses on being very clear, very polite, and highly structured. It avoids slang. It avoids extreme emotion.
And there is one more register, which is neutral English. Neutral means there is zero emotion.
Right. It is not friendly, but it is not aggressively polite either. It is simply delivering plain facts.
You see neutral English in a user manual for a washing machine, or, in a traditional news report.
But wait, if I am writing an email to a client, shouldn't I just use neutral English?
That is a brilliant question.
I mean, I just want to give them the facts. Why do I need to be formal? Doesn't formal language feel a bit, well, fake?
A lot of learners feel that way. They think, I want to be authentic, I want to be myself, but formal language is not fake.
Think of language registers like clothing. This is my absolute favorite way to explain it.
Clothing, okay, tell me more about that.
Think about your own closet. You have different types of clothes for different situations, right?
Yes, of course.
You have soft, comfortable pajamas. Yeah. You have casual jeans and t-shirts. And maybe you have a short business suit or a nice dress.
Right.
Now, you would never wear your comfortable pajamas to a serious job interview.
No, definitely not. They would think I was crazy.
Exactly. And you also would not wear a tight, stiff business suit to go to sleep in your bed. Language is exactly the same as clothing.
So you dress your words to match the situation.
Yes. Wearing a suit to an interview does not mean you are a fake person. It just means you understand the social rules of that environment. You are showing respect.
That makes so much sense. So informal English is your pajamas or your comfortable jeans. Formal English is your business suit. And neutral English is maybe a simple uniform.
Perfect summary. Listener, let's practice this vocabulary.
Look down at yourself. What kind of clothes are you wearing right now in real life? Are you wearing casual clothes, work clothes, or pajamas? Say your answer out loud.
Say it right now.
Okay, it is always good to connect English to your immediate physical reality.
Now, just like wearing the wrong clothes, using the wrong language register can feel deeply uncomfortable. When your words wear the wrong clothes, everyone in the room feels awkward.
Oh, I know this pain personally. I have a story that perfectly illustrates this. I actually did this a few years ago.
Really? What happened?
I was in a very serious meeting with the senior directors of my company. We were discussing a major financial problem. One of the directors suggested a solution.
Okay, sounds very formal.
Right. And I wanted to agree with her enthusiastically. But my brain panicked. Instead of using my business suit words, I used my pajama words.
Oh no.
I looked at the senior director and said, "That is totally awesome, dude."
No. You called a senior director dude in a financial meeting.
Yes. The entire room went completely quiet. Everyone just stared at me. My words were wearing messy pajamas while everyone else's words were wearing sharp business suits.
I can imagine.
I felt my face turn bright red. Awesome and dude are not bad words. They're great words. But they were the completely wrong register for that specific room.
That is a wonderful, painful example, and I want the listener to hear that clearly. Even native speakers make register mistakes. It happens. The goal is not perfection. The goal is awareness.
So how can our listeners build this awareness? How do you learn the subtle differences between formal and informal when you are studying a second language?
My favorite method is active, focused listening. When you watch an English television show or a movie, do not just listen to the plot.
Pay close attention to the relationships.
Exactly. Notice how the main character speaks to their manager at work. Then, notice how that exact same character speaks to their best friend at a coffee shop.
Yes, the vocabulary completely changes. The tone of their voice changes. The speed of their talking changes.
Listener, let's practice putting on our business suit right now.
I'm going to give you a formal sentence. Please repeat it out loud with a serious, polite voice. Here is the sentence. Could you please assist me with this matter?
Take a few seconds and repeat it. Could you please assist me with this matter?
Say it with a polite voice.
Beautiful. Could you please assist me with this matter? That is a perfect formal business suit sentence. It is polite, clear, and professional.
Now, this ability to change your language clothing brings us to our next major concept. It is a concept closely connected to registers. It is called code switching.
I love exploring the psychology of code switching. It sounds like a technical computer term, but it is actually a deeply human communication skill.
Code switching simply means changing your style of speaking, changing your vocabulary, or sometimes even changing your entire language, depending on who is around you.
So when I change from my normal speaking voice To that formal sentence we just practiced, I was code switching.
Exactly. Moving from informal to formal English is a type of code switching. But the big question is, why do humans do this? Why don't we just speak the exact same way all the time?
There are three main reasons we code switch in the workplace. Listeners, pay close attention to these three reasons. We will test your memory in a few minutes.
Are you ready? Say I'm ready out loud.
Go ahead, say it.
Awesome. Let's dive in. The first reason we code switch at work is to communicate efficiently. Different groups need different words.
For example, imagine you are a software engineer. When you talk to your team of other engineers, you use highly technical words. You use industry jargon.
You might say, the server is experiencing latency due to a DNS routing error.
Right, that is perfectly efficient for engineers. But if that same engineer needs to explain the problem to a client who does not know anything about computers, they must code switch.
They cannot use the technical words or the client will be confused. So they code switch and say, the website is loading slowly because of a connection problem, but we are fixing it.
It is the exact same information, but wrapped in different language. That is reason number one, efficiency.
The second reason we code switch is to build connection and trust.
Imagine you are in a very stiff, formal meeting. Everyone is using professional English. The meeting finally ends. You walk down the hall to the coffee machine with a coworker you like. Instantly, you code switch.
Oh, absolutely. I drop the formal vocabulary immediately. I use a more casual tone. I ask about their weekend or their family or their dog.
Yes, that sudden shift to a casual tone signals trust. It says we are off the clock. We are equals. We are friends.
Sometimes, bilingual professionals will even code switch into their shared native language. Two Spanish speakers might use formal English in the meeting room, but immediately switch to Spanish in the hallway.
It builds a powerful personal bond.
So we have efficiency and we have connection. What is the third reason?
The third reason is a very kind one. We code switch to make other people feel comfortable.
How does that work in practice?
Imagine you are a native English speaker. You are talking to a new colleague who is just learning English. You notice they look a bit confused. They're struggling to understand you.
If you are a kind person, you will naturally code switch.
You will slow down your speaking pace. You will choose simpler words. You will avoid complicated local idioms.
You do this so they feel included. You are adapting your language to help them succeed in the conversation. That is a wonderful thing to do.
When you look at these three reasons, efficiency, connection, and comfort, you realize something profound. Code switching is not about being a fake person.
Code switching is a sign of high emotional intelligence. It shows that you are actively reading the room.
I love that perspective. It is about respect. It is about adapting to the environment to build a stronger team.
Let's do that memory check for our listener.
Can you remember one of the three reasons why people code switch? Try to say one reason out loud right now.
Take a moment to think. Say it loud.
If you said efficiency, connection, or comfort, you nailed it. Excellent memory.
But let me challenge this idea for a moment. As an English learner, constantly monitoring my words sounds exhausting.
It does.
Having to think, am I formal enough? Should I be more casual? Am I using the right register? Doesn't that cause massive mental fatigue?
That is a very valid concern. Yes, when you are learning a second language, it takes extra mental energy. It can be tiring at first. But I want to remind you of a secret. You already do this perfectly every single day.
I do. The listener does.
Yes, you already code switch constantly in your native language. You do it without even realizing it.
Let's prove it. Listener, think deeply about your native language right now. Do you speak the exact same way to your manager at work as you do to your mother in your kitchen?
Say yes or no out loud.
Say it now.
I can guarantee you said no. You use different grammar, a different tone, and different vocabulary with your mother than you do with your boss.
We are naturally adaptable creatures. You already have the skill in your brain. You just need to learn the specific tools to do it in English.
Which is the perfect bridge to our next topic. Now that we understand the psychology of why we change our language, let's talk about exactly how to do it.
How do we put on that business suit? Let's talk about plain English versus professional English.
This is where we get highly practical. Many English learners fall into a trap here. They believe that to sound professional, they need to read a dictionary.
They think they need to use huge, complicated 20-letter words to sound smart.
I am so glad you said that, because trying to use giant academic words often backfires. It usually makes you sound unnatural. or even a bit arrogant.
Exactly. True professional English is not about complicated words. It is simply about swapping a few everyday plain words for slightly more polished words.
We are moving from plain English to professional English.
Before we look at the specific words, can I ask a slightly nerdy question?
Of course.
Why does English have two sets of words for everything? Why do we have a plain word and a fancy word for the exact same action?
Oh, this is my favorite piece of history. It goes back almost 1,000 years. In the year 1066, something called the Norman Conquest happened. People from France invaded England and took over the government.
Okay, so the French speakers became the bosses.
Exactly. The French speakers became the kings, the judges, and the nobles. They spoke French and Latin. But the regular, everyday people, the farmers and workers, continued to speak Old English, which was a Germanic language.
Right.
Over hundreds of years, these two languages mixed together to create modern English.
So that is why we have two registers.
Yes. The short, hard-sounding words are usually Germanic. They are our plain English.
Yeah.
The longer, softer-sounding words come from French or Latin. Those became our professional English because they were the words used by the ancient bosses.
That is absolutely incredible, knowing that history actually makes it easier to understand. So plain English is the language of the everyday worker, and professional English is the language of the historic office.
Let's look at some modern examples. What is our first word swap?
Let's look at the word got. G-O-T. Got is incredibly common. I got your message, we got the package, I got an idea.
It is perfectly fine for casual spoken English, but it is very plain. In professional writing, what should we use instead?
Instead of got, we should use received. It sounds much more elegant. Instead of writing, I got your email, you write, I received your email.
Let's have a listener try. Imagine you are writing to a new client. Please say this sentence out loud. I received your email.
Take a few seconds and speak. I received your email.
Excellent. It feels very clean and polite, doesn't it? Let's look at the next word swap. This one is very important for the workplace. The word is need.
Plain English says, I need help. I need the report. Now, need is a very strong emotional word.
When you use it in an email, it can sometimes sound a little demanding. It can sound like a child saying, I need candy.
To sound more like a professional adult, we swap need for request or require.
Exactly. So instead of, I need some help with this project, you can write, I require some assistance with this project. Or, I am requesting some help.
It lowers the emotional temperature. It sounds calm. Let's do another very common phrase. What about talk about? We say this all the time. Let's talk about the budget.
Talk about is very informal. The professional French or Latin root word is discuss. Plain English, let's talk about this tomorrow. Professional English, let's discuss this tomorrow.
Okay, quick quiz for you listening right now. If your coworker says, we need to talk about the problem, what is the professional word for talk about?
Say it out loud. Quick, what is it?
Okay, if you said discuss, you're doing brilliantly.
Let's look at 3 more quick swaps that will instantly upgrade your emails. Number 1, instead of saying make sure, use the word ensure.
Plain, please make sure you lock the door. Professional, please ensure you lock the door.
Number 2, instead of give, use provide. Plain, can you give me the data? Professional, can you provide the data?
Let's practice that one. Listener, please repeat out loud, can you provide the data?
Go ahead.
Great job. And number 3, instead of fix, use solve or resolve. Plain, can we fix this issue? Professional person, how can we resolve this issue?
Now, I want to make something very, very clear to our listeners. Plain English is not rude. If you say, I got your email, you are not being insulting. But we have to remember the medium we are using.
What do you mean by the medium? Do you mean email versus speaking?
Yes. When you speak to someone face-to-face, they can see your smile. They can hear the warm tone of your voice. If you use plain words, your smile makes it friendly. But an email has no face. An email has no voice.
Oh, I see. In a written email, just reading plain words can feel very fast and a bit cold. It can feel short or impatient.
Precisely. Professional English words are slightly longer. They slow the reader down. They sound calm, polite, and respectful.
Taking the time to type receive instead of got shows the other person that you respect them enough to choose your words carefully.
This leads to my favorite learning tip for reading and writing. You do not need to memorize lists of words from a textbook. Just use your own inbox.
Yes, the steal from the best method.
Exactly. Tomorrow at work, pay close attention to the emails you receive. When a senior manager or a native speaker or a very professional client sends you an email, Do not just read the information.
Look at the words they chose. If you see a beautiful professional phrase, steal it. Write it down in a small notebook.
Create your own personal dictionary of professional words. If you steal one good phrase a week within a few months, your own emails will sound incredibly polished.
Okay, so we have upgraded our vocabulary. We know how to swap plain words for professional words. But what happens when we put those words together into sentences?
There are hidden rules here too. Let's uncover the grammar secrets for emails and meetings.
Please do not let the word grammar scare you. We are not going to talk about complicated verb tenses or confusing academic charts.
Formal workplace English just has a few specific, easy-to-learn secrets that change how you are perceived.
Let's dive into secret number 1. No contractions in formal writing.
For our listeners, a contraction is when we push two small words together to make one shorter word. For example, do not becomes don't. I will becomes I'll. Cannot becomes can't.
In spoken English, contractions are completely mandatory. We use them all the time. If you do not use contractions when you speak, you actually sound like a robot.
But in formal writing, the rule is the exact opposite. Yes. In a formal business email, in a legal contract, or in an academic paper, you should separate the words. Pull them apart.
Do not write don't. Write do not. Do not write where. Write we are.
Let's make sure our listener understands this rule. Listener, imagine you are writing a formal email to a new boss. Instead of typing the word can't, what 2 words should you type?
Say them out loud right now. Let's hear it.
Exactly, cannot. Pulling the words apart makes the sentence look more serious and deliberate. It's a tiny change, but it makes a huge visual difference on the screen.
That brings us to secret number 2. Avoid slang and idioms in formal communication.
Slang is very casual, local, street language. Idioms are phrases that have hidden cultural meanings. For example, in English, we might say, it is raining cats and dogs.
Idioms and slang are very dangerous in the workplace, especially in international business. Why? Because they do not translate literally. If you use slang, someone from another country will be completely lost.
Imagine you leave a very chaotic, messy meeting. You might want to say, that meeting was absolutely bonkers. Bonkers is slang for crazy. It is fun to say, but in a professional setting, it is the wrong register.
Instead of slang, choose clear, literal descriptions. You should say the meeting was poorly organized or the meeting was very chaotic. Clarity is always more professional than clever slang.
This focus on clarity brings us to secret number 3. And this secret involves something that almost every English learner absolutely hates.
Oh, I know what you were going to say. You were going to talk about phrasal verbs.
Yes, phrasal verbs.
A phrasal verb is when you take a standard verb and combine it with a small preposition, completely changing the meaning. For example, look. You can look up a word. You can look into a problem. You can look after a child.
As a language teacher, I hear the frustration all the time. Learners say, why does English do this? They are completely illogical. How am I supposed to memorize thousands of these tiny, confusing phrases?
Well, listener, I have wonderful, beautiful news for you. In the formal business world, you can actually avoid many of them.
Remember our history lesson about the Norman conquest. Phrasal verbs are mostly Germanic. They evolved in the streets. They are the ultimate plain English. But formal writing uses Latin and French roots. And those languages use single, specific verbs.
This is amazing. So instead of trying to remember the informal phrasal verb look into, I can just use a single professional word.
Exactly. Swap the informal look into for the formal single verb, investigate. We will investigate the issue.
Swap the informal phrasal verb put off for the formal word postpone. We need to postpone the meeting. Swap find out for identify or discover.
This is actually a massive advantage for many language learners. If your native language is Spanish, French, Italian, or Portuguese, you already know the formal English words.
Investigate and postpone sound exactly like your native language because they share the same Latin roots.
It is a wonderful shortcut. The words that feel difficult for native English speakers are actually the easiest words for many international learners. So do not stress about phrasal verbs in your formal emails. Just use the single professional verbs.
Let's practice the secret. Listen to these 2 sentences. Which one sounds more formal and professional? Sentence A, let's put off the project. Or sentence B, let's postpone the project.
Say the formal sentence out loud right now. Is it A or B?
Let's postpone the project. Beautifully done. It sounds highly educated and polite.
This brings us to our 4th and final grammar secret. Secret number 4, be indirect.
This is a huge cultural point. English speakers, generally speaking, are obsessed with politeness. We feel very uncomfortable giving direct commands to other adults, especially in the workplace.
In some languages and cultures, directness is valued. It shows honesty. In those cultures, it is perfectly polite to say, "Give me the document," or "Tell me the price."
But if you literally translate that direct command into English, it sounds terrible. It sounds aggressive. It sounds like you are angry or like you are a king ordering a servant. Give me the document is a command. We want to avoid commands.
So how do we fix it? We make the request indirect. We take the command and we wrap it in a soft, polite question. We add layers of cushion.
Instead of give me the document, we add a modal verb and a polite phrase. We say, could you please send the document? Or if we want to be incredibly formal and soft, we say, I was wondering if you could provide the document.
I was wondering if you could. It is such a long phrase just to ask for something,
Thank you.
but it is the ultimate verbal cushion. It gives the other person space. It feels respectful.
Let's do a transformation exercise. Listen to this is important. I am going to give you a very direct, slightly rude command.
The command is, send me the file.
I want you to transform this into a polite, formal question using, could you please? Try speaking your polite question out loud right now.
Give it a try. Use, could you please?
Fantastic effort. Could you please send me the file? Perfect. That tiny change will completely transform how your colleagues view you.
Politeness goes a very, very long way in the English-speaking business world. We've covered so much deep, valuable information in this conversation.
We talked about the psychology of registers and clothing. We explored the emotional intelligence of code switching. We learned the historical reasons for plain versus professional words. And we uncovered the grammar secrets of formal politeness.
It is a lot of information, and it leads to a very natural problem. A listener might be thinking, this is great theory, I understand the rules. But when I am actually in a meeting, my heart still races, my brain freezes. How do I actually practice this so I don't panic in real life?
That is the most important question at all. Knowing the theory is only 10% of the journey. The other 90% is physical practice. And that brings us to our final and most actionable topic, building the 10-minute daily speaking habit.
Listen closely to this part, because this strategy is the actual secret to true fluency. Many people think that learning a language means sitting at a desk for 5 hours on a Sunday, studying thick grammar textbooks until their eyes hurt.
That method simply does not work for adult learners. It just makes you exhausted and makes you hate the language. The human brain does not acquire language through massive, painful study sessions.
The brain acquires language through small, consistent daily exposures. It is about doing a tiny bit of English every single day. And the most critical piece of this daily puzzle is speaking out loud.
Remember at the very beginning of our chat when we asked you about your morning routine? That wasn't just a fun icebreaker. Your morning routine is the perfect protected time to build this habit.
We want you to commit to a 10-minute daily speaking habit. And we want you to do it in the morning while you are getting ready for your day.
While you are making your coffee, while you are brushing your teeth, or while you are choosing your clothes for the day, you are going to speak out loud to yourself in English.
You might be thinking, what am I supposed to talk about? I'm alone in my kitchen. It is simple. Start by narrating your physical actions. Describe exactly what you are doing in the moment.
You literally say out loud, I am walking into the kitchen, I am opening the cupboard, I am taking out my favorite blue mug, I am pouring the hot water.
It sounds incredibly simple, almost silly. But what you are doing is connecting English words directly to physical objects and physical actions in your brain. You are bypassing your native language translation process.
Once you finish narrating your actions, spend the next 5 minutes talking about your plans for the day. Use the future tense. Say, today I need to finish the financial report. I have a meeting with Sarah at 2 o'clock. I am going to buy groceries after work.
And here is where you can practice everything we learned today. Pretend you are in that formal meeting. Practice your new professional vocabulary out loud to your coffee mug. Say, I require assistance with this project. We need to postpone the deadline. Let's discuss this tomorrow.
Now, I know what many learners feel when they try this. I can hear the objection right now. You are thinking, but wait, what if I make mistakes while I'm talking to myself? What if my grammar is wrong? There is no teacher there to correct me. Am I going to build bad habits?
I am so glad we are addressing this fear. Please, listen to me carefully. This 10-minute morning habit is a completely safe space. You are alone in your home. No one is judging you. There is no test.
The goal of this morning exercise is not perfect grammar. Let me say that again. The goal is not accuracy. The goal is physical comfort.
Yes. Speaking a new language is a physical activity. It requires your tongue, your lips, and your jaw to move in new ways. You are literally exercising muscles in your face that you do not use in your native language.
Think of it like a musician warming up before a concert or an athlete stretching before a race. You are just warming up your speaking muscles for the day. You are making your mouth and your brain comfortable producing English sounds.
When you do this, something magical happens. It removes the fear of the physical act of speaking. If you speak English to yourself in the safety of your kitchen for 10 minutes every morning, then when you have to speak up in a high-pressure meeting at 10 a.m., your mouth is already used to the language.
Exactly. The words will come out easier, your voice won't shake, you won't freeze, because English is no longer a scary foreign activity. It is just the language you used to make your coffee earlier that morning.
And when you combine this 10-minute speaking habit with the other tiny habits we discussed today, you create an unstoppable system for learning.
It truly is a system. You do 10 minutes of speaking in the morning. During the day, you do a tiny bit of reading and writing by stealing professional words from your colleagues' emails. In the evening, you do a tiny bit of active listening by watching how characters code switch on television.
This is how you move from an intermediate level to a highly advanced confident level. It is not magic. It is daily consistency. It is showing up for yourself every single day.
So we have a very important question for you, our listener. We want a commitment. Will you try this? Will you practice speaking to yourself for just 10 minutes tomorrow morning? Say, yes, I will, out loud right now.
We want to hear it. Shout it out.
I heard that. We believe you. But you know what? Tomorrow is too far away. We want you to start building this habit today. We want you to start right now.
Our conversation is about to end. When it is over, you are going to go do something else. We will give you 10 seconds right now. I want you to describe exactly what you are going to do next. Speak out loud in English. Go.
Keep talking. Keep describing your next action. You can do it.
Okay, time is up. Wonderful. You are already doing it. You have officially started your daily speaking habit. You should feel incredibly proud of yourself.
As we wrap up our time together, let's leave you with one very practical, simple rule for the workplace. We talked about formal and informal registers. We talked about business suits and pajamas. But if you are ever in a new situation and you are unsure which one to use, what should you do?
Is a great question. If you are ever unsure, always start slightly formal. Always put on the business suit first. Why? Because it is always easy to take off the jacket and become more casual later once you know the culture of the room.
Yes, people will naturally signal to you if you can relax. They might say, oh, please call me Bob.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it is very, very difficult to fix a bad first impression if you start too casually. If you show up in pajamas, you cannot suddenly put on a suit, start formal, show respect, and follow the other person's lead.
That is excellent, safe advice. And please, listener, remember that learning a language is a long, beautiful journey. It requires patience. It requires kindness to yourself. You will make mistakes. You will use the wrong words sometimes. And that is perfectly okay.
Yes. Just listening to this entire long conversation in the second language is a massive achievement. It is hard work for your brain. But you stayed with us, you practiced, you spoke out loud, you were doing a wonderful job, and your English is improving every single time you show up.
Before we say goodbye, I want to leave you with one final, slightly deeper thought to mull over. We talked a lot about vocabulary today. We talked about swapping plain words for professional words.
Yes, swapping need for require or got for received.
The next time you are sitting at your desk and you open a blank email, I want you to pause. Just pause for 3 seconds and look at the screen. Ask yourself, who am I talking to?
Because the secret truth about English, and perhaps all languages, is that every time you choose between a plain word and a professional word, you aren't just sending information. You are telling the other person exactly how much you respect them.
That is incredibly powerful. You are sending a signal of respect through your vocabulary choices. Dress your words with care. Thank you so much for spending your time with us today. Keep up that morning speaking routine, keep stealing those good words, and keep believing in yourself. Have a beautiful day, and we will talk to you next time. So, imagine you were staring at your computer screen. You know, you have been looking at the exact same 3-sentence email for like 20 minutes.
Oh, I know that feeling so well. It is terrible.
Right. Your finger is just resting on the mouse. It is hovering right over the send button.
Yeah.
But you hesitate.
Yeah, because you wonder, will I sound angry?
Exactly. Will your boss think you are unprofessional? Or, on the other hand, will you sound too relaxed, like you just do not care about your job at all?
Yes, the email anxiety is so real. I waste so much time just wondering how my words will feel to the other person.
It is a very common struggle. It is really hard to find the perfect tone, and tone just means the emotion or the feeling hiding behind your words.
Right. The feeling.
But do not worry, take a deep breath, drop your shoulders. We are going to solve this problem together today. We are going to build your confidence from the ground up.
I love that. Confidence is the magic word here. But how do we actually build it? Because reading grammar books, well, it just does not make me feel confident when I actually need to speak at work.
You hit the nail on the head. I mean, reading is wonderful. Listening to us right now is great. But to build true confidence, we need to look at how you approach your learning.
Yeah, I'm listening.
There are 4 main skills in a language, right? Listening, reading, writing, and speaking. And most adult learners, they spend all their time just listening and reading.
That is very true. I mean, it is easy to listen to a video while I'm cooking. It feels safe.
It is safe, but confidence comes from producing the language yourself.
Producing it. So you mean writing and speaking?
Yes. And the fastest way to feel comfortable at work is to build a daily speaking habit. I really recommend a 10-minute speaking habit every single day.
Just 10 minutes.
Just 10 minutes. Think of your vocal cords like muscles. Your brain needs to get used to the physical feeling of making English sounds.
Oh, wow. Muscles. That makes sense. Because if I only practice in my head, my mouth literally freezes when I am in a real meeting.
Exactly. We have to build muscle memory. 10 minutes of speaking English out loud alone in your room or in your car, it changes everything.
I want to build that muscle memory. But what should we talk about for 10 minutes? I do not have a script.
You do not need a script. You just need your daily life. A great place to start is your morning routine.
On a morning routine.
Yeah, a morning routine is just the list of things you do every single day when you wake up. Let's try this right now with our listener.
Oh, that is a perfect idea. Listener, this is for you. If you are sitting at home or, walking in the park, we want you to practice with us.
Here is your question. Think about your morning. What is the very first thing you do when you wake up? I want you to say your answer out loud right now. Let your voice fill the room. We will wait 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Great job. Even a short, simple sentence is perfect practice. You are building that physical habit of speaking.
Absolutely. So let's hear your morning routine. What is the first thing you do?
Well, the very first thing I do is turn off the alarm on my phone. Then I put on my slippers, I walk to the kitchen, and I make a large cup of black coffee. And while the coffee is brewing, I open the living room window. I just let the fresh air inside. It is a very simple routine.
It is simple, but it is incredibly powerful for learning. When you explain a routine like that out loud, you practice sequencing words.
Sequencing words?
Yeah, words like then and while. And you practice everyday verbs like turn off and brew. If you do this for 10 minutes a day, just describing your actions, your brain stops translating from your native language.
Oh, I see. Because the actions are so familiar, the English words they attach directly to the action. I do not have to think so hard.
That is exactly it. You build a strong, relaxed foundation. And you absolutely need that relaxed foundation for the workplace skills we're going to master today.
I am so ready. What is our main mission today? We want to fix that email anxiety we talked about, right?
Yes. Today, we are going to master something called language registers. By understanding this concept, you will never have to stare at an email for 20 minutes again.
That sounds amazing. But language registers, that sounds a little bit like a term from a science textbook. What is a language register?
It sounds complicated, but it is actually a beautiful, simple idea. A language register is simply the level of formality in your language.
Okay.
It means how formal or how casual your words are.
How formal or how casual? Can you give me an image to help me understand this? I really love visual examples.
Of course, think about language registers like choosing your clothes for the day.
Clothes, okay.
Imagine you are invited to a very important office meeting. It is with the president of your company.
Right.
What would you wear?
Well, I definitely would not wear my pajamas.
Right.
And I would not wear a swimsuit. I would wear a nice business suit. Or at least a very clean professional shirt and dress pants.
Naturally, you choose clothes that show respect for the situation. Now imagine it is Saturday morning. You are going to the beach with your best friends to just relax. What do you wear then?
Then I wear my swimsuit.
Yeah.
T-shirt, maybe some old sandals. I wear clothes that let me move and feel comfortable.
Yes. You choose your clothes based on where you are, what you are doing, and who you are with. Words work the exact same way.
Oh.
Words are just clothes for your thoughts. You have formal clothes for your thoughts, and you have comfortable, casual clothes for your thoughts.
Words are clothes for our thoughts. I really love that idea.
Yeah.
So a register is just the outfit we choose for our communication.
That is the core idea. Let's make sure our listener has this important term locked in their memory. Listener, I want you to practice your speaking habit right now. Please say the phrase language register out loud. Ready. We will wait 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Excellent. So just like we have different types of clothing, do we have different registers in English?
Yes, we have 3 main registers. The first one is the formal register.
And where do we wear our formal register?
We use formal English for professional emails. We use it when talking to managers, creating official reports, or meeting a new client for the very first time.
Right, so it is very professional.
Exactly. The formal register is clear, it has strong structure, and it shows deep respect.
Okay, so formal is the business suit. We wear it to show respect. What is the next register?
The next one is the informal register. We use this for our friends, our family, and for casual chats with coworkers we know very well.
Oh, I feel much safer in the informal register. It feels easy.
It is relaxed, friendly, and warm. It is like wearing your favorite t-shirt and jeans.
I like that. Is there a third one?
Yes, the third is the neutral register.
Neutral.
Neutral means it has 0 emotion. It is not friendly, but it is not trying to be polite either. It is just used to share facts.
0 emotion. That sounds strange. Where would I see the neutral register?
You see it when you read a technical manual for a computer, or, when you read the instructions on a bottle of medicine.
Oh, right.
Or even a recipe for a cake. The words do not care about your feelings. They just tell you how to do something.
Ah, I see. A recipe just says add 2 eggs. It does not say, could you please add 2 beautiful eggs, my friend?
Exactly. That would be a very strange recipe. The neutral register is just facts. But in the workplace, we mostly move back and forth between formal and informal.
Okay. But I have a challenge for you about this.
Let's hear it.
Sometimes I really want to sound smart and educated in English. What if I decide to use the formal register all the time? Even with my good friends. Will my friends think I am very intelligent?
That is a brilliant question. A lot of language learners try to do this. They learn these big formal words and they use them with everyone. But actually, using very formal English with a close friend is a mistake.
A mistake? Wait, why? Doesn't it show I have a big vocabulary?
It might show you have a big vocabulary, sure. But language is not just about showing off your brain. Language is about human connection.
Human connection, okay.
Using the informal register builds a bridge. It tells the other person, we are friends, we are close, I feel safe with you.
I am listening deeply to this. So informal builds a bridge. What does formal do?
The formal register builds a wall.
A wall.
It is a very polite wall, but it is still a wall. It creates psychological distance. It says, we are separate. We are doing business. If you use formal English with a good friend, it sounds unfriendly. It sounds cold.
Oh, wow. I never thought about it like that. If I speak too formally, my friend might actually think I am angry with them.
Yeah.
Or they might think I want to stop being close friends.
You understand it perfectly. Choosing the right register is about making people feel comfortable. Let's do a quick mental check with our listener to practice this feeling.
Yes, listener, let's test your instincts. Imagine you are sending a text message to your best friend to invite them to dinner. Which register should you use? The formal register or the informal register? Say your answer out loud. We will wait 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4,
5.
Okay. If you said informal, you are correct. You want your friend to feel that warm connection, not a cold wall.
Okay, I really understand the feelings behind the registers now, but how do I actually build my formal language? When I sit down to write that important email, are there specific rules I can follow? Absolutely. There are golden rules for formal English. They are like the building blocks of a professional tone.
I need these building blocks.
If you follow these rules, your professional writing will immediately look polished. Let's start with the first golden rule. Contractions.
And tractions.
Yeah.
That is when we squeeze 2 words together to make one smaller word, right? Like taking do not and squeezing it into don't.
Yes, exactly. In formal writing, the golden rule is that we do not use contractions. We write the words out completely.
Okay, I can memorize that rule, but I want to understand why. Why are contractions considered informal? What is the psychology there?
It is a great question. Think about how we speak when we are with friends. We talk fast. We are relaxed. Our breathing is quick.
Yeah, very relaxed.
Contractions were invented by human beings to save breath. It takes less physical effort to say I can't than to say I cannot.
Oh, so contractions are born from speed and physical relaxation.
Exactly. But formal writing is not about speed. Formal writing is about deliberate effort.
Deliberate effort.
When you take the extra time to type out I cannot or I do not,
All right.
you are sending a silent message to the reader. You're saying, I care about this message so much that I am not taking any shortcuts. I am giving you my full effort.
That is fascinating. So by writing the full words, I am showing the reader that I took my time. It is a sign of respect.
Yes, it proves you are treating the subject seriously. So instead of writing, I don't know the answer, you write,
I do not know the answer.
and instead of, we can't finish the project today, you write,
We cannot finish the project today.
Now what about the word won't? This one confuses a lot of learners.
Well, won't is a strange word,
Yeah.
but it comes from will not. So in a formal email, I should write, the client will not sign the contract.
Perfect. It is a simple mechanical change, but it completely changes the emotional weight of your sentence. Let's ask the listener to try this out loud to build that muscle memory.
Listener, it is your turn. We are going to practice showing Eschert. How do you make the word shouldn't formal? Separate the contraction into 2 full words and say them out loud. You have 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The full formal phrase is should not. Wonderful. Now let's move to the second golden rule. This rule is about numbers and symbols on your keyboard.
Numbers. If I want to write a number, I just press the number keys on my keyboard. Is there a formal way to type numbers?
Yes, there is. In formal English, if a number is under 100, the general rule is to spell it out with letters.
Spell it out with letters. Wait, really? So if I want to tell my boss that 19 people are coming to the meeting, I should not type the digit 1 and the digit 9.
That is correct. You should write the word out. N-I-N-E-T-E-N, 19.
Is the reason the same as the contractions? Showing effort.
You are connecting the dots beautifully, yes. Pressing 19 takes half a second. Typing out the word 19 takes longer. It requires more attention.
It makes sense.
In a formal report, spelling out smaller numbers makes the document look more thoughtful. It looks academically rigorous.
It is like the difference between sending a fast text message and handwriting a beautiful letter. The effort shows the respect.
Exactly. Now, for large numbers like, say, 4,500, you can use the digits. It becomes too difficult to read if you spell out huge numbers. But for small numbers, spell them out.
Got it. And what about symbols? Sometimes I use the symbol that means and. You know, the curly one on the keyboard.
The ampersand.
The ampersand, yes.
Yeah.
Is that okay in a formal email?
In formal writing, we must avoid symbols like the ampersand. Always write the full word A-N-D.
Okay, no symbols.
Symbols belong in logos for companies or in quick notes. They do not belong in sentences. And this brings us to a very strict rule. Absolutely no text abbreviations.
Oh, come on. You mean I cannot write LOL at the end of an email to the company president?
I highly recommend that you do not write LOL, which of course means laugh out loud, and never use BRB, which means be right back.
Right.
Keep all of those abbreviations for your informal text messages with your friends.
Okay, so I am building my formal toolkit here. No contractions, because we want to show effort. Spell out small numbers for the same reason. No symbols and no text abbreviations. What is the next golden rule?
Rule number 3. Use clear, direct, and specific subjects. We must avoid vague words.
Can you explain the word vague?
Vague means something is not clear. It is blurry. It does not have a specific shape or name. For example, the words stuff or things are very vague words.
Oh no, I am very guilty of this. I use the words stuff and things all the time at work. I will message a coworker and say, can you send me that thing we talked about?
It is incredibly common in spoken, casual English. When we're speaking face-to-face, we can point at objects or use our memory of the conversation.
Right, because we share the context.
Exactly. But in formal writing, a vague word is dangerous. It is too casual, and it can cause mistakes if the person does not remember what thing you mean.
So instead of saying, can you send me that thing we talked about? I need to give the thing its proper name.
Yes. What could you say instead?
I could say, could you please send me the budget form I mentioned last week?
That is a massive improvement. The budget form is a specific subject. It shows you are organized, professional, and clear.
Let's practice this with the listener. This is a very common habit to break. Listener, I'm going to give you a vague, casual sentence. I left my stuff on the desk. How can you change the word stuff to be formal and specific? Imagine your stuff is actually your computer and some important papers. Say your new sentence out loud. We will wait 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Good try. You could say, I left my documents on the desk, or I left my equipment on the desk. Replacing vague words instantly upgrades your language.
I have another question about writing formal sentences. It is about transition words.
Okay, go ahead.
Transition words are the words we use to connect two ideas together, right?
Okay.
Like in conversation, I always start sentences with the word but or the word so. like, but we need more time. Or, so I will call you tomorrow. Can I start a formal email sentence with but or so?
That is a wonderful question. The short answer is that it is better not to use but or so at the beginning of a sentence in formal writing. They're just a bit too relaxed and conversational.
If I cannot use but, how do I show a contrast? What word should I use?
Instead of but, use the beautiful formal word, however.
However, I really like the rhythm of that word. It feels heavy and polite. However, we need more time. That sounds much better. And what should I use instead of so?
Instead of so, you can use the word therefore, or if you are simply adding a new piece of information, you can use additionally.
Therefore, additionally. These words change the entire rhythm of the sentence. They make the reader slow down.
Yes, they do. They add a professional weight to your ideas. Let's do a quick activity with the listener to cement this idea.
Listener, imagine you are writing an official report. You want to connect two sentences to show a contrast, but you know you should not use the word but. What formal transition word should you use instead? Say the word out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The word is however. Excellent work. You are building a very strong professional foundation.
You know, practicing, however, makes me realize something. I feel like some English words are just naturally more professional than others. Even if I do not use contractions and I do not use vague words, my vocabulary sometimes just feels a bit simple.
That is a very perceptive observation, and it brings us to a fascinating part of the English language. Words absolutely matter. We can take plain, everyday conversational words and swap them out for elevated, professional business words.
Why does English have two sets of words for everything? Why is there a casual word and a formal word that mean the exact same thing?
To understand that, we have to take a tiny step back into history. A long time ago, regular people in England spoke Old English. They were farmers and workers.
Okay, the farmers.
Their words were short and simple, words like ask, get, help, and need.
The everyday worker words, I use those all the time.
But the kings, the royalty, and the highly educated people spoke French and Latin. When these groups mixed, English absorbed all the French and Latin words.
Oh, wow.
These words are usually longer. Words like inquire, receive, assist, and require.
Oh my goodness. So the formal words we use in business today are actually the old royal and academic words from hundreds of years ago.
Yes, when you use formal vocabulary, you are literally borrowing the historical language of education and official business.
I love knowing the history behind it. It makes it so much easier to understand. Let's do a vocabulary swap right now. I will give you a casual, everyday farmer word, and you tell me the professional royal word I should use in an email.
Let's do it. Throw your casual words at me.
Here's a big one. The word got. I write this all the time. I got your email, or I got the report.
Got is very casual. It is a classic short word. The professional Latin-based swap is received. So in your email, you should write, I received your email.
I received your email. It instantly sounds more important. Let's ask our listener to try swapping this one.
Yes. Listener, we want you to elevate a sentence. Change this casual sentence. I got the final document. Change the word got to the formal word. Say your new sentence out loud. We will wait 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The professional sentence is, I received the final document. Great job. Okay, here's my next casual word. The word is need. Like, I need help with this project.
Need is a strong word, but it can sound a little demanding or informal. The professional swap is request, or sometimes require. You could say, I am requesting help with this project, or I require assistance.
Request.
Right.
Require. Okay, what about the phrase talk about? I always say, let's talk about the new budget.
Instead of the phrase talk about, use the single word discuss. So you write, let's discuss the new budget.
Discuss. You know, I have noticed something about casual English. Native speakers use a lot of small verb phrases, two little words pushed together like talk about or look into or find out.
You have just discovered one of the biggest challenges in English. Those two-word phrases are called phrasal verbs. They are incredibly common in spoken English.
They are everywhere.
They are. But here is a massive secret for formal writing. We try to replace phrasal verbs with one single formal verb.
So a phrasal verb is the casual, everyday way to speak, and a single verb is the formal way to write.
Exactly. Let's look at the examples you just gave. You said look into, as in, I will look into the problem.
So what is the single formal verb for look into?
The formal verb is investigate. I will investigate the problem.
Investigate. That sounds so much more serious than look into. What about the phrasal verb put off? Like, we need to put off the meeting until tomorrow.
The single formal verb for put off is postpone. We need to postpone the meeting.
Postpone, I will use that. And what about find out? Like, we need to find out what is causing the error.
Instead of find out, use the formal word identify. We need to identify the cause of the error.
This is such a powerful tool. Let's test our listener on one of these phrasal verb swaps. Listener, try to remember the formal word. What is the single formal word you should use instead of the casual phrase, find out? Say it out loud right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The formal word is identify. You are doing fantastic work. Let's do 2 more quick everyday swaps before we move on. Expert, what is a casual word you use when a machine is broken and you want someone to make it work again?
I usually say fix. Like, can the IT department fix my computer?
Fix is a great word for speaking, but the formal business word is solve or resolve. Can the IT department resolve this computer issue?
Resolve. I really like that.
Yeah.
And what about the phrase, make sure? Like, make sure you lock the door when you leave.
Swap the 2 words. Make sure for the single word, ensure. Please ensure you lock the door.
Received, discuss, investigate, ensure. These small vocabulary swaps really change everything. It feels like I'm finally putting on that business suit we talked about earlier.
Exactly. It shows immense respect for the workplace environment. But as you put on that formal business suit, we have to be careful. There's another part of professional English that is just as important as the vocabulary. It is the art of politeness.
Politeness. Oh, that is a very tricky area for me as a language learner. In fact, I have a somewhat embarrassing story about this.
We all learn from embarrassing moments. Please share it with us.
Well, a few years ago when I first started working in an English-speaking office, I needed some financial papers from a colleague in another department. I needed them quickly. So I typed an email and I wrote, give me the tax documents by tomorrow morning.
Oh my, yes, that sounds very, very direct.
Yes, it was terrible. A few hours later, my manager pulled me aside. She told me that the colleague was very upset. He felt I was angry with him and he felt I was giving him a strict order.
Oh no.
But I was not angry at all. I just translated the thought directly from my native language. In my language, it is completely normal and efficient to be direct when you are at work.
That is such a common experience for language learners. You did not do anything wrong on purpose. This is a massive cultural difference. In some languages, being direct is a sign of respect because it saves time, but in English, the rule is about direct versus indirect language.
Why does English hate direct language so much? Why did my colleague feel like I was giving him an order?
In English culture, especially in British and American office cultures, direct requests sound like commands. They sound like a parent talking to a child or a general talking to a soldier.
So saying, give me or send me takes away the other person's power. It feels bossy.
Exactly. Think about communication like physical space. Imagine you are walking into your colleague's office. Using direct language is like walking right up to their desk, leaning 1 inch from their face and speaking loudly. It invades their space.
Oh, wow. That would make anyone feel uncomfortable. So what is indirect language?
Indirect language is like standing at the door of their office. You knock gently. You leave space between you and them. You give them room to breathe. To sound polite and professional in English, we rely heavily on indirect requests.
Knocking on the door gently. I like that image. How do I actually do that with my English words?
We knock on the door by framing our requests as questions. We do not use statements. Instead of saying, send me the documents, you turn it into a question and you add a softening phrase at the beginning.
What is a softening phrase?
The most common softening phrase is, could you please? So your email becomes, could you please send me the tax documents by tomorrow morning?
Could you please send me the tax documents? That sounds so much softer. It does not feel like an order anymore.
It works because grammatically it is a question. You are giving the other person a choice. Even if it is their job to send you the documents, framing it as a question gives them psychological respect.
Are there other softening phrases I can use if I want to be even more polite?
Definitely. If you are asking for a big favor, you can say, I was wondering if you could. For example, I was wondering if you could help me review this long report.
I was wondering if you could help me. I really like that one. It feels very respectful. It feels like standing far back from the door.
Another excellent softening phrase is, would it be possible to? For example, would it be possible to schedule a meeting for tomorrow?
Would it be possible to schedule a meeting? These are fantastic tools I will never write. Give me again. Let's make sure our listener has these phrases locked in their muscle memory.
Great idea. Listener, we want you to practice softening a direct request. I am going to give you a very direct, bossy sentence. Send me the client file. I want you to knock on the door. Change it into a polite question using the phrase, could you please? Say your polite, indirect question out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The polite version is, could you please send me the client file? If you said that, you just saved yourself from a very awkward email.
Now, I need to give you a small but important warning about politeness.
A warning, can something go wrong?
Sometimes when language learners discover these polite phrases and formal words, they try to use all of them at the same time. They try to be too polite, and it actually becomes a problem.
Too polite? How is it possible to be too polite?
Let me read you a sentence. I want you to listen carefully and tell me how this person sounds to you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I would like to respectfully inquire regarding the possibility of arranging a meeting at your earliest convenience.
Wow. That is an incredibly long sentence, honestly. It sounds a bit like a robot. Or maybe someone reading from a very old, dusty history book. It does not sound like a natural human being.
Exactly. It is overly formal. It is trying too hard. When you use too many formal words together, your sentence becomes heavy and complicated. The person reading the email has to work too hard to understand what you actually want.
I understand. The goal is to be polite, but not confusing. So, how should I say that long robot sentence in natural professional English?
Keep it simple. Just ask the question. You could say, could we arrange a meeting sometime this week?
That is so much easier. Could we arrange a meeting sometime this week? It uses the polite question structure, but the words are simple.
Simplicity is highly professional. Your coworkers are busy. They will deeply appreciate clear, polite, easy-to-read emails. You do not need 20 difficult words to show respect. You just need a gentle tone. Now, let's have the listener practice this idea of simplicity.
Listener, it is your turn to simplify. I will give you a complicated robotic sentence. Listen carefully. I require your immediate assistance with this task. How can you say this simply and politely using the softening phrase? Could you please say your simple sentence out loud? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You could simply say, could you please help me with this task? It is perfectly clear and perfectly polite. You are doing wonderfully.
So we have built a really strong foundation for writing formal emails. We know about avoiding contractions, swapping everyday vocabulary for formal verbs, and using indirect questions to be polite.
Yes, we do.
But I am thinking about my actual workday. The workplace is not just formal emails for 8 hours a day. I talk to different people in entirely different ways.
You have hit on a universal truth of communication, and that observation brings us to one of the most fascinating psychological skills in language. It is a concept called code switching.
Code switching. I have heard this phrase used before, usually in the news, but I am not entirely sure what it means in my daily life. What exactly is code switching?
Code switching is the instinct to adjust how you speak to fit the specific environment you are in. It means changing your vocabulary, changing your tone of voice, or even changing your body language depending on who is standing in front of you.
Adjusting to the environment. Let me see if I can picture this. Is it kind of like changing the radio station in your car depending on who is riding in the passenger seat?
That is an absolutely brilliant way to think about it, yes. Imagine you are driving your car and your boss gets in the passenger seat. What music do you play? You probably change the station to something safe, like classical music or the daily news.
Definitely. I turn the volume down and I make sure it is something very calm and professional.
But 10 minutes later, you drop off your boss and your absolute best friend jumps into the car. What do?
I immediately change the radio station. I put on loud pop music or rock music and we sing along.
Exactly. You change the environment to match the relationship. We do the exact same thing with our language. You code switch, you change your language station depending on who's listening to you. Let's have the listener lock this term into their vocabulary.
Listener, this is an advanced term, and you are going to master it today. Say the term code switching out loud right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, great. Now, code switching is not just one thing. There are a few different types of code switching that we use naturally at work to survive and succeed. The first type is called formality switching.
Formality switching. Is that related to the registers we discussed earlier?
Yeah.
Moving from the formal business suit to the casual t-shirt.
It is exactly that. Imagine you are standing at the front of a boardroom. You are giving a massive presentation to the directors of your company. Your posture changes. You stand up straight. You use formal words like ensure and investigate. You speak slowly and professionally.
Yes, I am fully in my formal register. The pressure is on.
But an hour later, the presentation is finished. You walk down to the company cafeteria and you sit down to eat lunch with your favorite coworker. What happens to your language?
Everything changes. I relax my shoulders. I lean forward on the table. I stop using words like investigate. I use casual phrases. I laugh loudly. I have switched my formality.
You have to switch. It is a social survival skill. If you sat at the lunch table and spoke to your best work friend using the exact same formal voice you used with the directors, what would happen?
My friend would think I had gone crazy. They would think I was a robot or that I was making fun of them. It would be very strange.
Nobody wants to eat lunch with a formal robot. We code switch to show people that we understand the social situation. Let's do a quick comprehension check with our listener to reinforce this psychology.
Listener, think deeply about this social situation. Why might two coworkers switch from formal English in a meeting to informal English when they walk to a coffee shop together? What is the psychological reason? Say your answer out loud. We will wait 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
They switch to informal English because they want to drop the professional wall. They want to relax, build trust, and feel comfortable as human beings, not just as employees. If your answer was similar to that, you understand the psychology perfectly.
Okay, so that is formality switching. What is the next type of code switching we do at work?
The next common type is jargon switching.
Jargon.
Yes, jargon. Jargon is a specific set of technical vocabulary that belongs only to a certain job or profession.
Jargon, like the complicated computer words that the IT department uses.
Exactly. Let's use the IT department as our example. When two computer engineers are talking to each other to fix a server, they use highly technical jargon. They use acronyms. They code switch into their specific tech language because it is fast and accurate for them.
But they cannot talk like that to everyone.
No, they cannot. When one of those engineers comes to your desk to fix your laptop, they have to jargon switch. They must translate their technical language into simple, everyday English so that you, the customer, can understand what is happening without feeling stupid.
Oh, I just realized something. I do this every single day.
Really? How so?
I work in finance. When I talk to my accounting team, I use complex financial terms and spreadsheet jargon. But when I have to explain the budget to the marketing team, I drop all those words and I explain it using very simple concepts. I am jargon switching.
You absolutely are. You are already an expert at it. You do it to be a good communicator. Now, there is one more type of code switching, and it is incredibly important, especially in modern international workplaces. It is called language switching.
Language switching. Do you mean actually stopping English and speaking an entirely different language?
Yes. For bilingual or multilingual workers, this is a daily reality. Let's imagine a team in an international office. The official language of the company is English. Everyone uses English for the databases, the official reports, and the team meetings. English is the language of the tasks.
Okay, the professional environment requires English.
But let's say two of the workers on this team are native Spanish speakers. One afternoon, one of them receives some bad news from home. They're having a terrible day. They want to talk to their coworker about this personal problem. They might suddenly switch completely from English into Spanish to talk about their feelings.
That makes complete sense to me. Speaking in your native language hits your heart differently. It can build a deep comfort and an emotional safety that is very hard to find when you're speaking a second language at work.
That is exactly why it happens. They use English for the technical work and the professional walls, but they code switch to their native language for emotional support, empathy, and friendship. It is a beautiful way to navigate life in a multicultural office.
It really is. It shows respect for the company's rules by working in English, but it also shows respect for their own culture and their own human feelings by switching to Spanish.
Code switching is a tool for survival, for connection, and for professional success. Let's pause and let the listener practice identifying a type of switch from what we just learned.
Listener, imagine a doctor talking to another doctor in a hospital. They are using extremely complex medical words about a disease. Then, the doctor walks into a room to talk to a frightened patient. The doctor stops using the complex words and uses simple, everyday words to explain the medicine. What kind of code switching is this? Say the name of the switch out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
If you said jargon switching, you are absolutely right. The doctor is changing their technical language to match the listener.
So everything we are talking about today, registers, vocabulary, code switching, it is all about finding a balance. You have to know when to pull out the formal suit and when to wear the comfortable t-shirt. But it makes me wonder what happens if a company does not allow this balance. What if a company creates a rule that only formal communication is allowed?
That is a profound question. If an environment is entirely imbalanced, there are real negative consequences for the workers. Let's explore the risks. Let's start with your example, a company that demands strict formal communication for absolutely everything.
I am imagining the nightmare. A place where everyone has to write a 5-paragraph formal email just to ask a quick question, and no one is allowed to use casual chat programs.
Yes, the primary risk of a 100% formal environment is that it causes massive delays. It slows down the actual work.
I can easily see that. If I have to spend 10 minutes crafting a perfect, polite, formal email just to ask my coworker if they have a file, it wastes so much time. A casual chat message would take 10 seconds.
It wastes time, and it also slows down decision-making. People become afraid to speak up or share new ideas because they are terrified of making a mistake with the formal language rules. It kills creativity and energy.
But what about the complete opposite? What if a company hates formal emails? What if they are too informal? Everyone just uses quick chat messages, text abbreviations, and slang. No official reports, no formal emails.
An environment that is too informal has entirely different but equally dangerous risks. Mostly, it causes mistakes and misinterpretations.
Is that because the language is not precise? Because people are using those vague words like "stuff" and that thing?
Exactly. If you are too casual, details get lost. But even worse, in a totally informal company, there is a lack of written records.
Written records. Why does that matter?
Imagine a big, expensive decision is made during a casual chat in the hallway or on a quick text message. If there is no formal, official email to document that decision, there is no proof it happened. 3 months later, if something goes wrong, people will argue about what was said. This can cause legal problems, financial loss, or terrible confusion.
So let me make sure I understand the balance. Too formal equals slow work and fear. Too informal equals mistakes and lost records. We desperately need both styles to survive.
We need both. A healthy professional knows when to use which register.
Can you give us some clear, practical guidelines? When exactly should we use informal communication during our workday?
Use informal communication like chat programs or casual speaking for quick status updates, daily teamwork, and brainstorming new ideas. Informal language keeps the energy high, builds friendships, and keeps the work moving fast.
Quick updates and brainstorming. Got it. And when must we use formal communication?
You must use formal communication for final decisions, official emails sent to clients outside the company, legal agreements, and policy announcements. These moments require language that is clear, professional, respectful, and permanently recorded.
This is a perfect time to give our listener a scenario. Let's see if they can find the balance in a real situation.
Listener, here's your scenario. Imagine you are at work. You have spent 2 weeks writing a final report that contains the final prices for your company's service. You are about to send this report to a brand new client. Should you write the email using formal English or informal English? Say your answer out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You should definitely use formal English. A final report going to a new client needs to show respect, clarity, and professionalism. No abbreviations, no slang.
Perfect. Let's do one more scenario to test the other side. Listener, imagine you are working on a project with your team. Suddenly, you have a crazy fun idea for a new design. You want to share this idea quickly with your favorite coworker who sits at the next desk. You open your office chat program. Should you use formal or informal English? Say it out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Informal English is the perfect choice here. You are brainstorming, you are moving fast, and you are talking to a close coworker. You want to build a bridge, not a wall.
You both did a fantastic job analyzing those scenarios. You are really beginning to master the rhythm and balance of language registers. It is a powerful feeling.
This entire conversation has been incredibly helpful. I honestly feel much less afraid of my email inbox now. I do not have to panic. I just need to stop, think about the situation, think about the person I am talking to, and decide what my goal is.
That is the perfect strategy. And please remember, as we come toward the end of our time together today, making mistakes with formality is completely normal. Do not beat yourself up. Even native speakers misjudge the tone of an email sometimes. We are all human.
If a listener is ever in a situation where they are truly unsure, maybe they are emailing a new manager and they don't know the company culture yet. What is the safest rule? Should they guess formal or guess informal?
The safest rule in any professional setting is to start slightly more formal. Always start with respect. You can always relax your language and become informal later as you get to know the person better.
That makes complete sense. It is much easier to start formal and become casual than it is to recover from being too informal with a strict traditional boss.
Exactly. To use your brilliant clothing analogy from earlier, start the day wearing the business suit. You can always take off the jacket and loosen your tie later if you realize everyone else in the room is wearing t-shirts.
Start with the suit, lose the jacket later. I will remember that forever.
Now, before we say goodbye, I want to bring our conversation all the way back to the very beginning. I want to remind you of the activity we did at the start of our time together.
The morning routine, the 10-minute speaking habit.
Yes, the daily speaking habit. I want you to promise yourself and promise us that you will practice producing English out loud for just 10 minutes every day. You have so much knowledge in your head now, you just need to connect it to your vocal cords.
You can describe your morning routine while you make your coffee. Or you can practice our vocabulary swaps while you drive. Say the formal word investigate out loud instead of look into. Practice saying ensure instead of make sure.
Speaking out loud when you are alone in your room builds massive, undeniable confidence. If you build this muscle memory in private, something amazing happens. When you finally have to speak in that high-pressure, formal meeting, your mouth and your brain will already know exactly what to do. You will not freeze. You will be ready.
You really can do it. 10 minutes a day is such a small price to pay for a lifetime of confidence.
Now, I want to leave you with one final provocative thought to ponder today. We spent a lot of time talking about code switching and how difficult it can feel to manage registers in English. But I want you to think about your own native language.
My native language, what?
Yes. Think deeply about how you change your voice, your vocabulary, and your physical posture when you speak to a small 5-year-old child versus how you speak if you are pulled over by a serious police officer on the highway.
Oh, wow. I speak completely differently. With a child, my voice goes high, my face is soft, and I use very simple, warm words. If I am talking to a police officer, I lower my voice. I sit up straight. I use extremely polite, respectful, serious words.
Exactly. The truth is, you already know how to code switch perfectly. You are already a master of language registers in your native language. You navigate complex social situations every single day. You just have to let yourself feel that same natural rhythm and awareness in English. You already have the social skill. Now you just have the English vocabulary to match it.
That is a wonderful, empowering thought to end on. Thank you so much for this conversation. I feel so much more confident walking into work tomorrow.
Thank you for sharing your stories and questions, and most importantly, thank you to our listener for spending this time with us. Keep practicing your 10 minutes a day, keep noticing the registers and the emails around you, and remember that you are doing great. We will talk again soon. Have a wonderful, confident day.